It's Andy Belet here. We're going to do an in the bag video. This is my bag for the 2013 season. I'm here in South Korea. We're going to do a lot of tournaments here, but we do play a lot of tags, little get-togethers, and many things like that. So I got to stay on my game. I carry a big bag. You call it a Feldberg bag, of course. There's tons of discs in there, a lot of multiples, so we're going to go through it. I'd be remiss if I didn't first say a little shout out to my boys at Infinite Discs. That's where I get most of my discs, where you should get most of your discs. Tons of user reviews, best prices around. They even ship to me here in Korea. A couple of my buddies here in Korea too, which a lot of people don't. All right, so we'll start with the putters. Well, actually, we'll start with the bag. This is the Physical Flight Contender bag. Got this off the marketplace, a disc golf course review for a song. Great bag, best bag I've ever had. This is the Gen 1, so I can't keep my mini in the mini pocket because that doesn't work. But man, there's just tons of storage space on this thing. I got upper compartment up here. I got things right here. I got spots on the side for discs, water bottles, all sorts of stuff. I'll get into what I keep in the pockets in a sec. And it's designed by a doctor. So for someone like me who's been in the military for a long time, and I've done all sorts of other stuff, you know, I get a lot of back pain. So this is really alleviated it, especially when you see how many discs I carry in this thing. All right, we'll start with the putters. My putting putters, I got 3. I got Pures, are my go-to putter. I got Zero Hard Pure. I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty beat up. It's a great disc. It's still pretty stable. I only use this inside the circle. I also have an Opto Pure. It's a little gummier. I use this on those really risky shots. I call them the butt pucker shots because I know it's going to hit and stick where that Zero Hard might roll away on me. Again, it's inside the circle, or if I'm really confident, I'll reach for the Pure. On those short putts, I'm a spin putter, so they hold the line real well. I don't like to drive with them. I'll get into what I do drive with here in a sec. My last putting putter, I got an Asian Open Zipper Top Rhino. This is for my outside the circle putts. This is for windy putts. This is for real short approaches, like within 60 feet. I don't use it a lot, but when I need it, it comes through for me every single time. All right, the other putters I carry 2 driving putters. My main driving putter is a Premium Jikiri. And this is from Pro Discus. You can see I already got an ace on it. This is an ace on hole 6, the Dragon's Lair, which is the course I designed up here at Camp Casey in Korea. And this thing is just, it's beat up, but it's still super overstable. This actually replaced my pigs. I threw pigs for years and years. They started to get a little expensive even when Innova released that new crop. And I couldn't financially do it. So I got this from Infinite Discs as a tester. And man, do I love this thing. I mean, you can oat the crap out of it, which I'm known to do, and it'll fight right out of it. It's got real strong, healthy fade. Any hole that's really under 200 feet, pretty much, I'm using this. It's overstable, so it's not a good line shaper, but it's still great. My other driving putter is a DJ Breaker. I got this for playing the 303 amateur tournament up in Denver, Colorado, and man, do I love this thing. Real flat, got a nice little bead on it, this weird little thumb track dealie. The only thing is they call this a putter. I don't know what DGA standards are. This is not a putter. This is a short mid-range. So anything from usually like 200 to 250, I'll bust this out. This one shapes lines a lot better than the Jikiri does. It's not a straight overstable disc. You know, I can do stuff with it. I can make it work. So yeah, it's my short mid-range / longer driving putter. As you guys know, I'm not a big arm, so where others would be using a regular putter, that's what I'm using, the DJ Breaker. All right, mids. I carry a bunch. We'll start with my shorter mids. MVP Tensor, love this disc. Super overstable. And this and the Breaker are really, I get about 20 more feet out of the Tensor, but I feel more confident with it, if that makes any sense. I can really honk on this thing and get it to go out there if I really wanted to. I also got an ace on this one, my second ace in Korea. It's hole 3 at Beacon Hill. We were playing tags. I took home a nice ace pot for that. Tensor's great. It's longer than a putter, but shorter than your traditional mid-range, a lot shorter than a vector, which is sort of the longer version of this, but this is even more overstable than even those like first run super flat vectors. I like a lot of what MVP does, but their mid-range game and their fairway drivers are the bee's knees. My understable mid-range is the Proton Tangent. I've thrown all different tangents. I really liked the Neutron. Then they came out with Proton Eclipse, which I had for a while. Love that. And now I've got the Proton with Metal Flake. Can't see the Metal Flake in there real well, but trust me, it's there. Love my sparklies. Got this from Infinite Disc too, just like I got most of these. Great disc. It'll go real straight if you just give it a little casual little flick and you put a little bit of hyzer on it. It's going to flip to flat and it'll go right. And this is really long mid-range. Much longer than the Tensor, which they were supposed to complement each other, but this goes even farther for me than like an Axis would, if I hit it right. I don't use a lot of understable stuff because I do use a lot of sidearm stuff, but yeah, it's been an invaluable disc. Really love the Tangent. Then I carry some fairly overstable mids. I got an X-Out Rock 3 that I got on the marketplace. Got an ace on that one too, hole 7 on Cumberland, 4 May 2013. The very next day, I left for Korea, so I'm pretty proud of that. This is great. I beat it in enough that it almost flies like a buzz, if that makes sense. There's a little bit of turn to it if I want it. If I don't want it, it's going to go super straight. It's got some fade to it, but the Rock 3s, unlike most of the other rocks, when you season a DX or a KC Pro, or even a Star Rock, it's going to have a lot of fade on it. It'll just have more turn to it. And I found with the Rock 3s, when you really season them and hit trees with them like I do almost all the time, it's going to go super straight with just a little bit of fade. So it's almost like a buzz for me. Then the next tick up, I got Prodigy Proto M2. This one, it flies more like my Rock 3 did at the beginning, but even though I beat it in, it's it flies same as the day I got it. I really, really like Prodigy's mid-ranges. The M2 and the M1 especially. The M2, this is probably my longest mid-range. Super straight, real healthy fade. Like I say, it flies like a fresh KC Pro Rock or a fresh Rock 3 for me. Really like it. It's the one where they forgot to add the color dealies, so it's starting to fade a little bit. Really like that one. And then my most overstable mid-range, Prodigy Proto M1, another ace disc, hole 9 at Echo Valley in Frenchtown, Montana. That was a tone pole course. It's like a 250-foot shot, and I just needed a big hook. I don't throw this a lot. I'm really confident in it. It does what it's supposed to do. It's got a lot of glide for an overstable mid. Like Gators, which are your traditional sort of like overstable mid, they just, they fly like a brick. And this thing's got a lot of glide to it, which is why I don't use it that often. But like a couple of the other discs, like my Rhino, when I need it, I'm glad I got it. All right, let's get into the fairway game here. Start with our the understable fairways. The Legacy X Patriot. Of course, I got the Schoolboy stamp, obviously. Flies like a leopard for me. I never really clicked with a leopard. The rim on this is a little bit different than a leopard. It just fits my hands a lot better. I can just really, really grip it. Any sort of understable shot, or if I'm in the woods, I can just put a little hyzer on this, flip it to flat, I'm good to go. Then I got a bunch of MVP mids. I got the shocks. There's the Schoolboy AM shock. It's a great one. This one's a pretty light. I think it's like 168. And then I got another shock. It's a little domier. It's kind of weird. It's a 172. It's got my Mind Trip die on it. Did that one myself with some shaving cream. And these ones fly like eagles for me. They got some turn. They got some fade. Real useful. Real handy to have in the bag. I don't use them a ton, but like I said before, when I need them, they're there. They got a Volt Captain America die, 173. This is from Ran at Montana Disc Company. If you're ever in Missoula, Montana, check them out. This is my workhorse fairway driver. It shapes lines. It's got fade. It's got a little bit of turn. I can throw this farther than most of my fairways. So, yeah, Volt. Got to get one. Got to have one of those in the bag. And I got 3 T-Birds. I got CETL. I really like this disc. I don't like this color. You know, if you ever held CE plastic, you know how it is. I love the feel of this plastic, man. It's great. This is old, obviously. CE came out when I was in high school. All right, I'm 29 years old now. I turned 30 in August, so do the math. This thing is older than dirt. Still super straight. There is no fade on this thing. This is like the straightest disc I've thrown ever besides a Mako. I mean, just super straight. Surprisingly, not very long. T-birds normally get longer the older you have them, but this one's starting to lose its length a little bit. It might get retired someday, but not anytime soon. I got a Metal Flake T-bird. It's a Kooky Noosa Challenge that I played up in Montana. Love this disc. Plastic's real nice. It's that champion plastic right before they came out with the Jolly Launcher, so it's real good. It's real malleable. This is my workhorse T-bird. It's a 170. Straight with fade. You know what a T-bird does. That's it. And then I got Avery Jenkins Star T-bird. I actually bought two of these, and I just gave one to my friend here in Korea. He's a Korean, Hwando Jang. And I love sharing these, but these are pretty beefy for T-birds. I haven't really wore it in yet. I don't throw it a lot because I've got other T-birds, but I love my T-birds, and this is the beefiest T-bird around. And for my super beefy fairways, I got the New Run Shock. Got to be white, got to be classy, like my Air Force Ones. White on white, but this is white on black. Beefy, super beefy, way beefier than those first run shocks I had in there earlier. It's almost like a long whippet. It's a great disc. I recommend everyone get one if you need a wind fighting fairway. But definitely my utility disc. If I want to throw a Tommy or I'm throwing into a headwind, I'm throwing this. Now for distance drivers, I usually only carry two types. I recently put a third one in the bag. It's that in a sec. I carry 4 turns. From least stable to most stable, I got the World's Star Turn flag stamp. Got this up at Fly Green up in Denver. It's flip-tastic, man. I mean, you have to put hyzer on this thing. Otherwise, it turns into a roller. I don't like throwing rollers. I can't control them, so no rollers. But yeah, it's a great one if you like a really, really flippy turn. I got another turn, Kooky Noosa Metal Flake turn. It's a little domier than most of my turns. But it's got, I mean, it's great glide. It's got quite a bit of turn to it, but it'll still fade back a little bit. But this one and the World's turn, definitely, they finish to the right every time. I throw right hand back in. Finish to the right every time. Got Ken Klimo Champ turn, the Jolly Launcher plastic. This is my go-to distance driver. I just got this thing a couple weeks ago, and anytime I need a distance line, pretty much, I'm going to throw this unless it's into a headwind. It's perfect for me. You know, I can get it out to about 350 to 380. That's real distance, not internet distance, consistently, which is a big step up for me. It's got the right amount of turn, the right amount of fade. I can hyzer flip it. I can put it on those big anties. It's not going to turn over into a roller for me. Great disc. Plus the champs. I mean, you got to go with the champ. And then my most stable turn is actually the first run I got a flag stamp. It's in Jolly Launcher. So this one's really beat up. This was my workhorse before I got the Klimo turn. Great disc. It's more stable than the Klimo turn, which is odd because these are supposed to be even more stable. I put this at like a -1 and a 2 instead of a -2 and 2. Always finishes left for me, but it's got enough turn and glide to really stretch out the distance for me. I can hyzer flip it. I don't like to. I like to throw it flat. I got my destroyers. We'll go from least stable to most stable. Pink Panther Pro Destroyer. Very rarely will you ever see me throw this thing flat. This is mostly for sidearms and Tommies and the occasional thumber when I get a wild hair up my butt. I don't really throw thumbers. It's beat in, super nice. You know, it's got a lot of turn to it, but it's got a lot of fade too. Really sort of crosses over with this turn a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's been in my bag for like 5 years, so it's going to stay in there for a while. I got a Star DS. Again, a Kooky Noosa stamp. A lot of discs for getting second place in that tournament. It's a 168. This is like my distance destroyer. When I need something that's going to be straight out the gate and have healthy fade, I'm not reaching for a turn. I'm reaching for a Star Destroyer. This is fresh. This is brand new in the bag. So this is a great one. Then I got a 303 Open Flag Stamp EcoStar Destroyer. It's 170. The plastic's it's a little bit grippier. But it flies pretty much the same as this, even though I've really beat it in. It's still super straight. I don't get much turn, if any, at all with this. I'm getting these out to about 350, by the way. And my most overstable, I got an Anton Destroyer. It's white with pink. It's a great one. This is, again, another sidearm one when I want to go straight. And I throw this in the wind. But it's still distance, you know? I'm still getting that good 350 to 380 distance out of it. It's just, the hook's a lot harder. And the last one is a new addition to my bag, Lat 64 Stiletto. Really threw this a lot today. It's a distance driver. I can't get any distance out of it. I don't have enough arm speed or whatever. I mean, I can get this thing out to about 300, and that's if I'm lucky. This thing it's like, if you've ever thrown an old Phoenix, you know how it's Phoenix overstable, right? You throw it flat, and it turns like this, or flips like this, and just dirt dives. But there's a couple holes on my local course, the Dragon's Lair here, where this is money. It's actually got a lot of glide. I mean, it's Lat 64, so of course it's gonna have glide. You know, even the putters have glide. But I'd recommend trying this out. If you've got like a Whippet or a Viper, this is gonna be similar. It might be a little longer for you. It's not for me. I can't get any distance out of this thing. It's just a meat hook. When I need a meat hook, you know, there it is. Keep a lot of crap in my pockets here: pencils, markers, towels, stuff like that. I carry a lot of minis. Carry a hockey puck and get stuck in the tree. But my three minis, I got. These are what I use when I'm competing. All right, this is my Good Luck mini. It's a sparkle purple, because my daughter Casey, her favorite color is purple, and she loves sparkles. So this is my Good Luck mini, and then I got a white nano and a clear nano. Like I said, I got a hockey puck in there. I got towels. I got all sorts of crap in there. Then up top, I carry a lot of stuff too. I got towels, I got a jacket, I got golden retriever, I got some Angry Birds gum, all sorts of stuff. Keep myself on there too. So yeah, that's my bag. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was informative. Sorry it went so long. 17 minutes. All right. Thanks for watching.